Good evening. I'm Stephanie Young, Senior Vice President of Advancement and Alumni Affairs at Baylor College of Medicine. I'm honored and excited to welcome each of you to our 2022 Baylor College of Medicine Alumni Awards program. I hope you had the opportunity to participate in our reunion sessions earlier today. This year's reunion and awards theme is What a Journey, which recognizes Baylor's incredible 120-year journey and the paths that each of you have taken to become leaders in medicine and science. Many of you have already shared one-word responses to describe your journey with Baylor. I would describe my journey so far as inspirational. All of our paths are unique, but I think we can all agree that it is an honor and a privilege to be a part of such an amazing institution with a long history of achievement and an exciting future ahead. Next, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Paul Klopman, President, CEO, and Executive Dean of Baylor College of Medicine. Dr. Klopman is a nephrologist by training. He came to Baylor in 2010 after serving as chair of the Samuel Bronfman Department of Medicine at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine. Before that, he held leadership positions at the National Institutes of Health. In his role at the college, he is responsible for each of Baylor's mission areas: research, education, community, and healthcare. I will now turn it over to Dr. Klopman. Dr. Klopman, thank you for joining us tonight.
Welcome, Baylor College of Medicine alumni, faculty, and guests, and tonight we are celebrating some incredible achievements. It's been a really remarkable past couple of years despite this global pandemic. We've had really great accomplishments ourselves as an institution. We enrolled the most diverse medical school class in our history. We announced plans to open a regional campus in Temple, Texas. We had our LCME site visit. That's always fun, and that went great, and we are full accreditation. All three schools continue to be highly ranked, so it's all very good news on the educational programs. We also had the highest research funding in our history. Clinically, Baylor Medicine continues to grow. We're now the majority of Baylor St. Luke's Medical Center's admissions. We opened the Spine Center that's jointly run by neurosurgery, orthopedics, physical medicine, and rehab. So lots of really great things on the clinical front. We are on a financial front. S&P gave us an upgrade for our rating from stable to positive outlook. And then the most exciting thing of all is we are planning our new health sciences park on the McNair campus to provide state-of-the-art new educational and research facilities. So, in all honesty, Baylor is it's never been stronger. I think it's probably the strongest it's been since I arrived here. It's a very exciting time to be part of the Baylor family. I hope you have a wonderful time and enjoy your awards banquet. Anyway, congratulations to all of you. We couldn't be Baylor College of Medicine without our alumni, so thank you and have a fun time tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Klopman. If you haven't already, I encourage you to join your fellow alumni by registering for BCM Alumni Connect, our exclusive online engagement platform made just for you. On Alumni Connect, you can network, share exciting news, photos and updates, post job openings, events, and so much more. Before we move on, I want to give special recognition to the Alumni Awards Committee, led by Jill Miller, our new president of the Alumni Executive Committee. The committee volunteered their time to review all of the award materials, discuss the accomplishments of nominees, and helped pick this year's winners. Thank you, each of you, for your hard work. So let's get started. We hope you enjoy this evening's presentation. Baylor College of Medicine's Alumni Awards recognize alumni and faculty at the college for excellence in achievement and service. Award categories and criteria are established by the Executive Committee of the Alumni Association. Our first award of the evening is one of two Young Alumnus Awards. The Young Alumnus Award is presented to an alumni who make outstanding contributions to biomedical science through clinical service, research, education, and/or administrative leadership, and also who have not yet reached their 46th birthday at the time the award is presented. The Young Alumnus Award for the School of Medicine goes to Dr. David Turner. Dr. Turner serves as Vice President for Competency-Based Medical Education at the American Board of Pediatrics, as well as Consulting Professor in the Department of Pediatrics and the Division of Pediatric Critical Care at Duke Children's Hospital. He has served in various leadership roles at Duke University Hospital, including Associate Director of Graduate Medical Education and Section Chief of Pediatric Intensive Care. In 2011, he developed and founded a multi-center collaborative called Education in Pediatric Intensive Care Investigators. He earned his medical degree at Baylor and became chief resident in pediatrics at Texas Children's Hospital. He then completed his fellowship in critical care at Boston Children's Hospital. Dr. Turner, congratulations.
My experiences at Baylor and my clinical rotations really confirmed what I thought I knew all along, was that I really wanted to be a pediatrician and go into pediatrics. It was a great opportunity to be at Baylor during my formative years as a med student and a developing pediatrician as a resident. The principles that were instilled in me by my mentors and by my peers and colleagues, my co-residents were a big part of this. The things that I learned there and the foundation that I created really, I felt like, set me on a path towards being successful in the future. And I will always be so appreciative of the time that I was able to spend at Baylor and Texas Children's with all of those mentors and colleagues who I remain connected with today in a variety of ways. The year that I was a chief resident, the mentorship and the relationships that I was able to build with Drs. Feigen and Lauren, who were the chair and program director at the time, really cemented a passion that had existed for a few years already for medical education. One of the things about Baylor that was really exciting to me as a school was at the time the curriculum was very new and innovative in terms of how they were approaching the balance between the basic sciences and clinical education. And that really sparked the interest that then was furthered when I was a chief resident and then has continued to blossom throughout my career. I always gravitated towards the ICU and the emergency types of situations. Particularly in the pediatric ICU, you have the opportunity to spend time with families. One of the patients that really sticks out to me the most was from very early in my career. So when I was an intern at Baylor and Texas Children's, I was in the progressive care unit and I cared for a patient there that was quite ill. And I connected with not only the patient and the family, and I got to know them when I was an intern and had to care for the child over the course of time during my residency when he was in and out of the hospital, and got to know them very well. And that was one of the patients that really in my mind stands out to me. And in retrospect, that experience early in my residency probably was also a pretty big factor in my decision to go down the path towards being a pediatric intensivist.
Our second award for the evening honors another incredible young alumnus, this time from the School of Health Professions. The winner of the Young Alumnus Award from the School of Health Professions is Sheena Bavsar. Ms. Bavsar is a pediatric hospitalist at Texas Children's Hospital Pavilion for Women and serves as a pediatrics faculty member at Baylor College of Medicine. As a Baylor faculty member, she is a clinical rotation preceptor for medical students and physician assistant trainees. She specializes in providing excellent newborn care and focuses on breastfeeding and discharge education for newborn caregivers. She earned her Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies here at Baylor. Congratulations on this incredible accomplishment.
When you take care of newborn babies, it's hard not to love it. If you love what you do, it just comes naturally. What I learned, and I think is the most important thing, is you respect everyone in the healthcare team, whether it is the PCA, the audiologist, just even anyone in the nursing staff. The nurses I work with are just amazing. It's such a privilege to work with them. They are my work family. I've learned so much from them. They are fierce, fierce protectors of their patients and really my eyes and ears. So by respecting them, appreciating their input, makes it a nice, cohesive team. And then when you do have to take leadership and give them direction, that transition just, flows seamlessly because we have that mutual respect for each other. And I think that really just keeps me going every day. I think there's a buzz in the Med Center personally here at Baylor for me that just you come in and you want to learn. You see all the cool things that we're doing here, all the new innovations, and it just makes you want to be better at what you're doing. And being a clinical preceptor has taught me that I really, really love teaching. So I think teaching in a formal setting as a majority of my time is something that I probably plan to do at some point. For me, Baylor has been such a family and such a selfless family. Even when someone doesn't know exactly how to help you, they'll reach out to someone who knows to get you an answer to what you need. It's just the culture of helping and excellence, but humbly doing it is really what keeps me here.
The Distinguished Alumnus Award is presented to alumni who make outstanding contributions to biomedical and/or medical science through clinical service, research, education, and/or administrative leadership. This year, we are pleased to recognize Dr. Victor Rivera. Dr. Rivera is the Distinguished Professor Emeritus of Neurology at Baylor College of Medicine and Emeritus Honorary Neurologist at Houston's Methodist Hospital. He is founder and inaugural director of the Maxine Messenger Multiple Sclerosis Clinic and has served on Baylor's institutional review boards for more than 16 years. He has also founded multiple MS-related organizations, and his expertise is sought by many who ask for his counsel on various aspects of multiple sclerosis, including the disease's impact on people of color and underserved groups. Dr. Rivera is a prolific writer and the recipient of dozens of awards and recognitions. He earned his medical degree and completed a neurology residency at Baylor and has served as a faculty member since 1970. Dr. Rivera, congratulations.
My journey at Baylor College of Medicine has been a wonderful one. In 1969, Dr. Michael DeBakey signed the Articles of Agreement with Baylor University to make the medical school independent. And Dr. DeBakey convinced my chairman in Detroit to be the first chair of the new neurology department at the new Baylor College of Medicine. I was a resident at Wayne at that time, and my professor and tutor, Dr. Meyer, brought me with him to initiate the new venture here at Baylor. A year later, in 1970, I was assigned to Bent Up Hospital to develop the clinics and the neurology services, but at that time I was already a member of the faculty, and I stay at Baylor since that time. Latin America always been part of my soul, and I realized that multiple sclerosis was affecting people that were pretty much not very well educated or informed on the disease. With the support of the National MS Society and the support of Baylor College of Medicine and the prestige that the college had already, I was then fortunate enough to develop associations, and so that's the way our center here in Houston at Baylor became so well known and respected as an educational center and research center for new treatments. Baylor has been perhaps the most important personal, human and professional gift I have received, and I'm very proud, I'm very grateful to be part of it.
Now to the next award of the evening, the Humanitarian Award. This award is presented to alumni for their outstanding service to mankind, including humanitarian, public, and/or government service. We have two honorees tonight, beginning with Dr. Coburn Allen. Dr. Allen serves as Chief Medical Officer for Medici, a value-based direct primary care and integrated specialty healthcare system. He is a board-certified pediatrician with additional fellowship training, board certifications, and active practices in pediatric emergency medicine and pediatric infectious diseases. His prior roles include founder and director of the University of Texas Dell Medical School Pediatric Emergency Medicine Fellowship and national director of pediatric services for U.S. Acute Care Solutions. He is an active clinical researcher and has served in numerous leadership positions related to pediatric medicine. His global health work, spanning more than 20 years, focuses on capacity building through medical education. He earned his medical degree and completed a residency and 2 fellowships here at Baylor. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor, Dr. Allen.
Frankly, I don't feel like I deserve it. I feel like there's so many amazing people that I've come across over my time at Baylor that do deserve it so much more, but it's remarkable. I'm excited about it. I am very grateful. And I knew when I was 4 years old, I wanted to be a pediatrician, which is kind of strange. So I had a brother who had a major brain trauma, fell off a bridge, actually had a penetrating injury to his skull and needed neurosurgery. And that just fascinated me that someone was able to actually help save my brother's life. And that was the beginning of it. And then I had a pediatrician who actually did a lot of work in global health in Oregon, where I grew up. I grew up with a mom who constantly challenged me that there's more joy in serving people than there is in taking care of yourself. That was actually the beginning for me of an epiphany of the joy of just serving. And it really resonates with my faith. It really aligns with kind of what I think the world needs, and it's radically changed my perspective in the world. I stayed at Baylor for all of my training. So I went there as a medical student, stayed as a pediatric resident, and then I did 2 fellowships. And the reasons why I never wanted to leave Baylor for all of my training was there's just an accountability of excellence, where people hold themselves accountable to each other to make sure what we're always doing is supportable, is best practice, is always in the interest of the patient. I've been part of good global health trips and bad global health trips, and good projects and bad. And what I started to realize, I love to teach. I would really much rather go in and teach local providers how to do more with what they have and their resources. And then honestly, focus more on training people up so they don't need me. That was my goal when I went into Haiti, is that in 5 to 6 years, you're not going to need me anymore. I want you to feel equipped. And then to me, the ultimate goal was exactly what we saw in my clinic in Haiti, is this cross-training among their own people, where they feel equipped and able, and it gives a sense of hope to a country when they feel like they can actually support themselves at a level they had not in the past.
Our second recipient of the Humanitarian Award is Dr. Cynthia Anthis. Dr. Anthis is a physician at Access Health in Waller County, one of the most medically underserved counties in Texas. She is passionate about caring for people in underserved communities and improving access to health care for all. She has served overseas in many countries to provide disaster assistance in healthcare. She and her husband, Dr. Joel Anthis, served in Jos, Nigeria for 3 years as medical missionaries. During her time in Nigeria, Dr. Anthis started a clinic for women with leprosy, visual impairment, and other chronic diseases. She also worked on community health initiatives to increase vaccination rates and to improve care in remote Nigerian villages. After returning from Nigeria, she was medical director of Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, which serves uninsured patients in West Houston and surrounding areas. Dr. Anthis earned her medical degree and completed her internship at Baylor College of Medicine. She completed residency training in family medicine at Eastern Virginia Medical School. I'm honored tonight to introduce Dr. Anthis to speak about this incredible honor.
I definitely need to thank a former classmate, Joyce Gottesfeld, for nominating me. I definitely, I can list off 10 people in my class that I would give this award to that aren't me. And I think so many of my classmates do such amazing, life-altering things. It's really humbling and overwhelming that a classmate would look and say, I really think that I deserve this. Baylor is just such an amazing opportunity, an amazing educational experience. And I look back, and I don't even want to say this out loud, that it's been 30 years, but I still remember patients that I saw. I remember classes that I had. It was the faculty, but also the setting, just being there and being able to work at Ben Taub and the VA, basic science professors. And I still can hear their voice in my brain when I'm trying to work through hard medical problems. Being a family practice doctor, I mean, I'm having to pull from everything in every area that I learned in medical school. I'm just really blessed to have had that 4 years of amazing education at Baylor. So I have always been drawn to help the people that are most in need. And so after the earthquake in 2010 in Haiti, I got on an airplane, went to Haiti, and I mean, it was utter chaos there. In the midst of so much tragedy, just to see a team of doctors from all over the US just come together and try to help the people that had survived. It was a privilege to be able to be part of that. I spent 3 years in Nigeria, and while I was there, I developed a community health program and actually started a medical clinic for women that didn't have access to care otherwise. It's so crazy that where I am working right now out in Waller County, one of the least served counties in Texas, but just outside of Houston. Every day I see patients come in and they tell me that they have not seen a doctor in 20 years at all. And I realized that the patients that I see out here they're very similar to the ones that I saw in Nigeria, because they also have no access to medical care. Just working overseas just opened my eyes to the fact that medicine doesn't take place in a vacuum. It takes place in a person's life and their culture and their setting. And that's important whether we are practicing medicine overseas or we're practicing medicine, on the west side of Houston.
Now, on to the Distinguished Faculty Award, which is presented to Baylor faculty members who make outstanding contributions through clinical service, research, education, and/or administrative leadership. Our 2022 honoree is Dr. Jocelyn Fisher. Dr. Fisher is an associate professor of medicine and medical ethics at Baylor College of Medicine. She also serves as chief of the section of general internal medicine at Harris Health, where she sees patients and trains medical residents. Her academic focus is on women's health with an emphasis on partner violence, topics that she has spoken, written, and advocated about extensively. After spending a year in India volunteering for a non-governmental organization, Dr. Fisher earned her medical degree and completed residency training at Baylor. She then completed a Master of Public Health degree at UT Health while also serving as a junior faculty member at the college. Congratulations, Dr. Fisher.
I always wanted to be a doctor ever since I was little, and when I went off to college, I was advised by a couple of physicians saying, look at something else. Medicine's not what it used to be. And I was really interested in international relations and learning about other cultures. And so the way that I combined all of my interests was I studied political science and a minor or certificate in community health. I ended up taking a bunch of courses my senior year that had a focus on hunger and famine in the world. And I learned early about the impact of upstream policies and practices and processes. And the impact that they can have on downstream consequences and the health impact. We now know that as food insecurity, and at the time we were sort of just learning about that. And so when I decided to go ahead and apply for medical school, I was very interested in some of the social determinants of health already. And when I came to Baylor, they offered the opportunity to explore beyond just the traditional biomedical aspects of medicine. As faculty, one of the first grand rounds that I attended was on intimate partner violence. It was really one of the first times that I'd heard about it in the health context. So I started looking for other people who were involved, other health professionals, other physicians who were involved in intimate partner violence work and the health impacts. They really had a hard time finding people. It led to me being able to do some interdisciplinary collaborations and come up with programming and to help educate other health professionals. And again, Baylor has always been extremely supportive of allowing me to help incorporate things into the curriculum and then also doing my clinical work with survivors of violence. I feel so supported by the community here. I'm extremely grateful for an incredible team of colleagues who are warm, caring, practice evidence-based medicine, just like a family.
Our final award of the night is the Lifetime Achievement Award. This honor is given to an alumnus whose lifetime pursuit serves as an inspiration to others. I am pleased tonight to introduce our 2022 honoree, Dr. Joseph Caselli. Dr. Caselli holds the Cullen Foundation Endowed Chair and is Executive Vice Chair of the Michael E. DeBakey Department of Surgery, as well as Professor. His past leadership positions include serving as Chief of the Division of Cardiothoracic Surgery at Baylor College of Medicine. In addition, he served as Chief of Adult Cardiac Surgery at Texas Heart Institute and Associate Chief of the Cardiovascular Service at Baylor St. Luke's Medical Center. He served as the program director of the Thoracic Surgery Residency at Baylor and directed the Aortic Fellowship Program. Dr. Caselli has treated countless patients, written hundreds of manuscripts, and given more than 900 presentations. He is director of the American Board of Thoracic Surgery, has led several high-profile surgical societies, and is the recipient of numerous awards. Dr. Caselli earned his medical degree from the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston and completed his residencies at Baylor. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. I'm pleased to introduce you to our 2022 Lifetime Achievement winner, Dr. Joseph Caselli.
My father was an attorney, my cousins and uncles were attorneys, and that's where I was headed. And then one summer I got a job in the operating rooms of Dr. Denton Cooley. I went in there and watched him do open heart surgery, and right then and there I rerouted my educational efforts and directed it to medical school with the idea of becoming a heart surgeon, and I never looked back.
Dr. Caselli is one of the most inspiring people I've had the fortune to work with, both in terms of who he is as a person, what he represents as a professional, and what he brings to the table as a leading heart surgeon in all of history, quite frankly.
When it comes to the Texas Medical Center, which actually started with Baylor College of Medicine, in my mind, that's the pinnacle. Cardiothoracic surgery, and having had the opportunity to lead the division, after Dr. DeBakey, is a dream of a lifetime that for me came true. It's irreplaceable, and I wouldn't trade it for a minute doing anything else.
He has operated on well over 10,000 patients with aortic disease over the course of his career. Many of these patients were referred specifically to him as their sort of last hope, patients with very complex disease.
Joe has performed more of the operation that he helped develop, the thoracoabdominal aneurysm surgery, which was invented at Baylor, and then anyone in the world. But probably more importantly, even than contributions like that, is Joe's true dedication to Baylor. He literally bleeds Baylor blue.
Can't imagine someone more deserving of recognition, and since completing his training here and then staying on as faculty, his contributions both at Baylor and internationally have been astounding.
This particular honor is a recognition from your own institution, from your own peers, the people you work with every day. And so it's an irreplaceable, treasured honor.
I've never witnessed anyone better at managing unexpected problems in the operating room, but leading the team through very challenging time to get the problem managed. I've always found that to be incredibly impressive.
It's been an absolutely amazing experience. It is possible to have a career where you move around from place to place, kind of marching up the ladder. It's a little more rare, and I think a better approach, and that is to stay in one place for decades and decades, make it your home, not only have it contribute, to your progress in your professional career, but to give back and contribute to make the home institution that gave you the shot, to try to make it the best possible place.
Congratulations to all of the award winners, and once again, thank you to each of you who contributed time and effort to make tonight's virtual ceremony possible. Before we conclude the evening, I'm very excited to share a short video of Jill Miller, President of the Alumni Association. Thank you, Jill, and thank you, each of you, for joining us tonight.
Hello, Baylor alumni, friends, and family. I'm Jill Miller, President of the Alumni Association Executive Committee and Chair of the 2022 Alumni Awards Selection Committee. Selecting our awardees was incredibly difficult because of our pool of amazing nominees. Reading about your diverse and meaningful contributions was a privilege for me and all the members of the committee. On behalf of the committee and everyone here at Baylor, congratulations. Thank you for the great work you do for patients, students, and the communities you serve. I look forward to connecting with you all as our virtual reunion programming continues through Friday afternoon.
As Baylor alumni, I'm sure you remember what it was like to be a student. We invite you to help the next generation of healthcare leaders by contributing to a class scholarship or donating in honor of an award recipient. To donate, visit the site at the banner below. Your support will make a meaningful difference and advance students along in their journeys. And finally, don't miss out on tomorrow's continued reunion programming. We will kick off a virtual coffee hour with Baylor leadership at 9 a.m. Central. If you haven't signed up, it's not too late. Visit bcm.edu/reunion to register. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great night.